Previously on Chef School.
Basically, we have to create our own menu for our final service.
We are the craziest team.
They all can do it.
Chef Scott and I are going to decide who the group leader is.
It will be a complete show.
Yeah! Yeah!
So with mains, we've got Calvin, Emily, Jack, Draven, and John.
So, I mean, then.
So we've got like the party squad.
Yeah, I can't.
I don't know how that happened.
I mean, I know what that brings, right? Then we get.
There's going to be some consequences to that.
Yeah.
It will be tough working with the rest of them. The personalities are just so large. We have the biggest jokesters in the class in one group.
So.
And there's gonna be lots of conflict here.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Well, I think the leader's going to be Jack just because he's not the typical person that you would see in the leadership role. I think it'd be a pretty interesting thing to see him actually be a leader.
My sense is that it's time to grow up for both of these ones, and that it's going to be here and here.
Yep.
We good?
Done.
Done.
I'm not really like the best out of us, and I'm not good at like dictating, telling people what to do. I'm more of a lead by example kind of guy, and especially when they have better examples than usually I do.
And the leader that we've chosen for this year's main course team leader is Calvin.
Whew, thank God.
I was kind of more shocked.
It's going to be difficult because I'm used to working alongside Calvin and not having to listen to everything he says.
Calvin's a good leader, like he's a really good friend. We all thought it would have been Jack just because he would have been like the one that would have probably needed that little bit of push for leadership.
Calvin is a very great fit as a leader. He wouldn't have been my first choice right away. I probably would have chose Emily because she doesn't get that leadership position that often. Chef's choice is the last say. Last say.
Verified butter and herbage is done. Cooking's all I've ever known, all I've ever done. Never gotten into anything else. Used to be really into sports, but school and friends. Spend as much time with my friends, but I'm always hanging out with the people from my group. Calvin by far. I spend at least 6 hours a day with him, weekends included. If I'm not with him, I'm with John. Lately, it hasn't been too much Jack. Since he got his boyfriend, he's just been spending time with him. So I haven't gotten to see one of my best friends, so forced to spend time with John. There's so many different routes I could go. Jack and I have spoken about going on a cruise ship, traveling, like cooking on there. Right now for the summer, after college, I know I'm going back to the kitchen I was working in last summer. Really awesome place, small tourist town.
The brainstorming process, when we look at the sort of the first round of ideas that the students come up with, is really it's a chance for, first of all, for us to see where they're at in terms of creation and ideas. It's a chance for them to present their ideas and you know, discuss the concepts of the direction that they're thinking of taking. But it is designed to be somewhat uncomfortable. It is designed to probe pretty much wherever the students present to us, whatever level they present at, we're going to try to take them a little bit higher. Main courses, what do you got for us?
Well, first off, we have stuffed quail galantine. So it's going to be stuffed with figs, wrapped in bacon, wrapped in spinach.
similar to what we did last year during one of our culinary reinforcements. And we're going to have a sweet potato puree and some parsnips and carrots accompanying it.
And the bacon, the spinach, and the fig is just stupid. Yep. And that's going to be a tough one. Well, if you rework your sweetness, you'll see it a little clearer.
Fix the quail, make it less sweet, balance it out. Okay?
I personally, for the quail, I don't like it just due to the fact that the bones are so tiny, so they're really aggravating when you're trying to get it, and then you pick up the bird to take out the skeleton of it, and the whole thing just kind of disintegrates on the inside, and you have to restart over again.
Move on.
Next up.
And our second option for a lighter meat is a grilled tuna, drizzled with a soy ginger reduction, sweet mango salsa, and vegetable rice pilaf.
And we'll be making our own vegetable stock to cook the rice pilaf in, just so it doesn't have that chickeny flavor that most rice pilafs have.
So a couple of things just with the dish. It's expensive. It's not to say it couldn't be done, but when we get to our costing portion of this, that might change.
I like that you're playing with the idea of a fish. I like the idea of that sort of Asian influence of flavors.
I'm kind of used to this from the chefs. They always push for more.
Yeah, this needs reworking. And I mean, it's outside of the spectrum of what you've been trained to do, so we are challenging you here for sure.
All right, and for one of the meat courses, it's going to be a pork tenderloin, which is bacon-wrapped pork tenderloin, crispy garlicky chicken, beans, and sweet balsamic strawberry sauce.
Chicken.
Oops. There's no chicken.
Is the tenderloin going to be stuffed as well as bacon wrapped?
No, it's just going to be bacon wrapped.
Okay. I kind of feel like it should be stuffed as well.
They kind of taken our dishes and they've actually dumbed them down, to be honest, to more of a palate for people that actually don't have that sophisticated adult palate.
I like the idea of it. I think it could be cool.
Make a few alterations.
Yeah, I'd like to see it stuffed with something.
Yep, sure.
I don't object to the bacon because bacon is good. I like that this is potentially building on technique that you have been taught, right? You know, pork tenderloin is a very affordable meat, so potentially lowbrow, but making it
High end.
high end and special I like that. I like that. Our overall impression is it's a good starting place. I feel like some of these ideas are leaning towards the simple side for where you should be at right now and what should be brought to the table for your final second year exam. Now that said, you know, simple food isn't necessarily bad food. In fact, complicated, the best dishes usually are simple. But that means that every single element needs to be perfect. So it needs to hit the mark. Would you agree, Chef?
Yep. And that's a hard thing to figure out, but do you guys understand what we're trying to say? Is that it should be cohesive, right? It should come together and make something.
The chefs, I don't think, were too harsh on us. They were just being honest and basically trying to help us, like they were trying to guide us in a way that we could easily better ourselves.
So, I don't know, you guys can go back to the drawing board with that. I mean, basically, we want you to come back with a meatless option that is beyond the level of what you've presented.
Okay.
Good?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
A lot of our ideas got shut down, and a lot of mine actually.
We basically have to completely redo it just because our options weren't as good as they could be. Hopefully this menu is like out of this world good that everybody will be raving about it after the meal.
Next time on Chef School.
He had never mentioned anything about him not showing up.
But as the leader of my group, I don't feel comfortable with like letting him in on my personal business.
Basically, we're just meeting up just to talk about what we went over with the chefs because you missed the class.
I don't care about the bullshit and the drama.
Hopefully none of you miss class again.